And as well because what was really attracting me is your scientific work, and it's always great to see, to be able to capture the image and the voice of somebody alive who has already such a huge legacy. And because I watch, I was talking about Richard Feynman and all those great scientists who are not here anymore, and I wish I had known them, and I thought it was important for me to try to establish that.
So, Noam, I wonder if I could ask you a bit about this intersection that Michel is raising about connections between art and science. You know, one of the fascinating things about this film is we see Michel's process as an artist, as he's trying to engage with your ideas and his misunderstandings and other currents of thinking. I wonder if you could talk about your own practice of doing science. What does it actually look like for you? What is your process, you know, when you're tackling a scientific question, when you're coming up against an aporia in your work?
Kind of like what Michel captured so with such remarkable artistry in the film. It's usually a matter of going for a walk, thinking about things, talking to somebody, hoping that somehow what looks paradoxical or impossible will somehow fall into place. How it happens, I don't think anyone knows. I'm sure it's the same when anyone's creating an artistic work. It just somehow comes.
What would be a problem like right now that you would say you're dealing with in your work, or in a particular aporia currently?
Currently?
Yeah.
Well, the point that Michel emphasized correctly is, and at least has been a driving force to me, not for everyone in the field, is to try to show what ought to be true, try to demonstrate what ought to be true. It ought to be true for various reasons, some of which indicated in the film, that the basic, essential nature of language is, first of all, uniform for all languages, which is why children can learn any of them, and is also fundamentally very simple. That when you look at the data of language, it looks extremely complex. But that's true of anything you don't understand. If there's anything you don't understand that looks hopelessly complex, the idea is to try to see if you can extricate from the complexity fundamental principles which somehow make things fall into place, which otherwise didn't make any sense, like the one principle that was mentioned at the end of the film about seeking minimal structural distance. You can pursue that much farther, and a lot of things fall into place, including the way in which quite complex sentences are interpreted if you continue to pursue the idea that there just has to be fundamentally simple processes that interplay in a way which yields observed complexity. So that's the basic work that I'm involved in, just that one paper coming out. I'll have another one soon. A lot of technical questions about this.
Michel, I think there's a very interesting theme that runs throughout the film, and I wonder if it doesn't also speak to your other films. As I read them, I feel like there's a fundamental curiosity that drives your work, and what Noam refers to as a puzzlement, that looking at things that might appear to be obvious, but